The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is just weeks away, and it is already on fire, not from the matches, not from the goals, but from the outrage. Fans are furious. Fan groups are filing legal complaints. European soccer leaders are publicly calling out FIFA. And social media has completely turned against the organization that runs the sport billions of people love. This is the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And right now, it might be the most controversial World Cup in history. If you care about soccer or you care about fairness in sports, you need to stay until the end of this video because every single layer of this story gets worse. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now. Let us start with the issue that lit the entire internet on fire: the ticket prices. When FIFA announced its pricing model for the 2026 World Cup, fans around the world could not believe what they were reading. We are talking about tickets for the final match at MetLife Stadium reaching nearly $11,000 each, but it gets even more insane than that. On FIFA's own official resale marketplace, 4 tickets for the final were listed at close to $2.3 million each. You read that right. $2.3 million for 4 seats to a soccer game. FIFA President Gianni Infantino's response to all of this? He laughed it off at a conference in Beverly Hills and jokingly promised to personally deliver a hot dog to anyone who actually paid that price. Fans were not laughing. Here is the background you need to understand just how dramatic this shift has been. Back in 1994, the most expensive World Cup ticket cost around $475. That is roughly $1,000 in today's money. In 2022, at the Qatar World Cup, group stage tickets were available for around $68. In 2026, official top-tier tickets for the final are priced at nearly $8,000, and high-demand matches can go even higher. FIFA has adopted what it calls dynamic pricing, the same model airlines use, where prices rise automatically based on demand. More than 150 million ticket requests were logged in just 15 days, which FIFA says proves the demand is there. But fans, fan groups, and soccer organizations say demand does not justify locking ordinary supporters out of the tournament entirely. Football Supporters Europe, a major European fan organization, called the pricing a, quote, monumental betrayal of World Cup tradition. Their executive director said, and we are paraphrasing, that this is a handful of people trying to make as much money as possible, and they believe this approach puts the very nature of the tournament at risk. It got so serious that Football Supporters Europe and consumer group Euroconsumers went to the European Commission and filed a formal legal complaint against FIFA, accusing the organization of abusing its monopoly position over ticket sales and imposing conditions on fans that would never be acceptable in a competitive market. The backlash was so intense that FIFA eventually caved. They introduced a $60 supporter entry tier for all 104 matches. Many saw that as a humiliating step backward from their original pricing strategy. But the ticket scandal is just one piece of this. Let us talk about the heat. Queen's University Belfast issued a formal warning earlier this year that wet bulb globe temperatures in several host cities are dangerously high, in some cases higher than what players faced in Qatar during winter. During last year's Club World Cup, which was used as a dry run for this tournament and was also held in the United States, multiple matches saw temperatures ranging from 90 to over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Players suffered from heat exhaustion. Pitches were criticized as being in poor condition. Jude Bellingham, the Real Madrid and England midfielder, publicly said the pitches were, quote, not great at all. Scientists and sports health experts have urged FIFA to schedule more games in the evening or late afternoon to reduce the risk to players and fans. The question of whether FIFA has done enough on this front remains very much open. Then there is the political dimension, and this is where things get genuinely complicated. The 2026 World Cup is being co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, 3 countries that, under the current political climate, are dealing with real friction between each other and with the rest of the world. There were serious discussions earlier this year among European political and sporting figures about a potential European boycott driven in part by U.S. foreign policy tensions. the heads of 20 European soccer federations publicly raised concerns. While no European nation has formally withdrawn, the Swedish Football Association president publicly criticized both FIFA's Gianni Infantino and U.S. President Donald Trump in a television interview, which tells you how strained the relationships have become. Then there is the situation with Iran. Iran qualified for this World Cup, but the geopolitical reality of an Iranian team playing on American soil, while the two countries are in an active conflict, has created one of the most delicate situations in World Cup history. Iran has said it will not formally withdraw because doing so could trigger heavy fines and a ban from future competitions. But Iranian players will not stay in the United States. They will be based in Mexico. Trump has publicly said that while the Iranian team is technically welcome, he cannot guarantee their safety. He posted on Truth Social that it would not be appropriate for them to be there for their own life and safety. FIFA responded by pointing to Trump's assurances that the team is welcome to compete. Former Iran national team captain Masoud Shojai and other prominent Iranian figures have publicly criticized FIFA for what they see as silence on the broader human rights situation in Iran, and through all of this, FIFA has largely stayed on message, saying the tournament will be spectacular, that the world is welcome in America, and that everything is on track. Critics say that response shows exactly what the problem is, whether it is about ticket prices, player safety, political tensions, or the transparency of how decisions get made. Fans increasingly feel that FIFA prioritizes revenue and relationships with the powerful over the people who actually make the sport what it is. The supporters. The 2026 World Cup kicks off this summer across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and it is going to be the largest edition of the tournament ever. 48 teams, 104 matches, and a global audience of billions. Whether the actual football ends up being spectacular enough to push all of this controversy to the background the way it often does, we will have to wait and see. But right now, in the weeks leading up to kickoff, the story is not about Messi or Mbappe or Pulisic. It is about whether FIFA's direction is one that real soccer fans can still believe in. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think FIFA has gone too far with the pricing and politics? Or do you think once the games start, none of this will matter? We genuinely want to hear from you. And if this video gave you something to think about, share it with a friend who follows soccer, because these conversations deserve to be louder. We will see you in the next one.